It's beautiful.
Yeah, unintentionally.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm here with Amy and Frank. They're from Penobscot Theatre, and they're actors in their latest play, Queen. Guys, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. Can you talk about what is Queen? It's not Freddie Mercury
No.
thing, first and foremost.
It is not. Queen is a beautiful play by Indian-American playwright Madhuri Shakur. She's a New York-based playwright. She's lovely. Queen is about two scientists, one, myself, who is a beekeeper studying colony collapse disorder, and the other is a mathematician. And they are getting published in Nature, which is a huge deal as students. And it turns out some of their data might not be as accurate as they thought it was going to be. So what are the ethics of going forward with that, if it's for a good cause? The choices that we make that are good, bad, or maybe neither.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you know, is the playwright a scientist themselves? How do they know these things? This sounds like an incredible amount of research to go in just to writing this play.
I'm not aware that
I don't believe she's a scientist.
I don't believe so.
No, they just do so much
right.
research and work, and I'm sure she talked to experts and scientists and mathematicians and everyone involved in that world in order to make it as accurate as possible.
It sounds remarkably unique. And it seems like there's a lot of things that have gone into it. We were talking before. Beekeepers have come and visited you guys for this play?
Yes.
What's up with that?
President of Penobscot County Beekeepers, Dave, came and talked to us.
Showed us how they check the hives.
Cool.
The tools that they use. He answered all of our questions.
Right. It was fascinating. I mean, you sort of think you know about it, but then it's like, oh, that's kind of amazing.
And is this just in order to understand your roles better?
For all of us, really, because, I mean, if you want to break down your character a little bit.
Well, my character, I played Dr. Philip Hayes, who's the professor in charge of the project.
Yep.
And he sees this as a step forward in his career, in his life, and it's a very important transition for him. And when the issues come up about the possible problem with the research,
The ethical dilemma, right.
he's the one that's pushing for finding a resolution.
Cool.
And it's interesting how there's a true evolution in the arc of his character through the course of the play.
Yeah,
as
perfect.
as the deadline approaches.
Right.
And how he reacts and interacts with the two fellows, the researchers.
Every time I hear about actors doing their work, I think about how do you maintain a work-life balance? Because this seems like an incredible amount of work to understand the people you will be playing. What is that like for the both of you?
For me, we got cast in the show back in maybe November or December, so we've known for a while. And my favorite part when I get a role is the nerdy research phase of looking up my character is a beekeeper, so I needed to be aware of everything. So I'm now in the algorithm on Instagram for all of these stuff and doing the research and looking up the papers and really internalizing that even before you start learning the lines.
Yeah.
So once you actually start rehearsals, you are prepped and it doesn't feel overwhelming. You have some place to go. And usually Frank and I work in the box office. I'm a box office manager.
I was about to manage it. Not only are we working together on this production, but we work together daily in the box office at Penobscot Theatre.
Right.
Amy is box office manager. I'm front of house manager.
Cool.
So people come in and say, oh, when are you two going to be in a play? And we just kind of look at each other and smile and say, well, in a couple of weeks.
So that'll be fun for people to see us in a different capacity.
The recognition factor is there, but you usually do musicals, right? It's a little different.
I have. In recent history at Penobscot Theatre, it's all been musicals. I have been in one non-musical. That goes way back to when the theatre was located up the street at the Unitarian Vestry building. That's now part of the Harbor Bank.
Good.
So
I'm glad to hear you're back in this saddle then. That's exciting.
It's fun. Yes. It's nice to have the challenge of this type of role too.
Right.
I mean, not that it's not challenging to be in a musical.
Sometimes that's when your best stuff comes out, though.
It's
different. When
different.
you're faced with the challenge.
It's very different.
Yeah.
It's a different approach and a different kind of preparation.
Right. This is all very exciting. Is it coming out this week? When can people see it?
We have our first performance. First preview starts this Thursday, March 30th. We run all the way through April
16th.
Oh, lovely.
Thank you. There are 2 shows on April 8th because we're not having any shows on Easter.
Nice.
But we go Wednesday through Sunday. It's a great show for women, men, girlfriends, sisters, moms.
Yeah.
I think it's a great show for teens to come see. There's a
think so.
little bit of swearing.
Okay.
But the subject matter is perfectly appropriate for I would say teenagers to come see as well.
Right, just some explicit language, and that's
Then that's
about
it.
all that's explicit.
Yep.
And it's not all based on the science.
No,
Okay.
it's
a lot of it
frustration.
how this impacts work relationships,
Cool.
personal relationships, and even long range situations in how a family adapts. Or,
That seems like it hits all the important stops
it
for a
does,
good
it really-
story.
Yeah, it really does.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, preview on Thursday. Very exciting.
Yes, and if people need tickets, they can call the box office, or they can purchase tickets on the website as well.
Perfect. And we'll post this online on foxbangor.com, and we'll have a link to Penobscot Theater's website.
That's very good.
Amy and Frank, thank you guys for coming on the show this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Of course, of course. We'll send it over to Devin Biggs for our full weather forecast.